An excerpt from the Space Shuttle decision. On an afternoon in July 1969, while the Apollo 11 mission stood poised for a flight to the moon, Tom Paine found himself confronted by a group of civil rights demonstrators. Their leader was Reverend Ralph Abernathy, president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Abernathy had succeeded Martin Luther King in the post, following the death of King a year earlier. Abernathy now came to Cape Canaveral on the eve of NASA's triumph. A light mist of rain fell intermittently as thunder rumbled in the distance. Paine stood coatless under a cloudy sky, accompanied only by NASA's press officer. As Abernathy approached with his party, marching slowly and singing "We Shall Overcome." Several mules were in the lead as symbols of rural poverty. Abernathy then gave a short speech. He deplored the condition of the nation's poor, declaring that 1/5 of the nation lacked adequate food, clothing, shelter, and medical care. In the face of such suffering, he asserted that space flight represented an inhumane priority. He urged that its funds be spent to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, tend the sick, and house the homeless. Paine replied that if we could solve the problems of poverty by not pushing the button to launch men to the moon tomorrow, then we would not push that button. He added that NASA's technical advances were child's play compared to the tremendously difficult human problems that concerned the SCLC. He offered the hope that NASA indeed might contribute to addressing these problems, and then asked Abernathy, a minister, to pray for the safety of the astronauts. Abernathy answered with emotion that he would certainly do this, and they ended this impromptu meeting by shaking hands all around. Their brief conversation brought no lasting consequence, yet it was heavy with history, for Paine and Abernathy stood as representatives of two deep themes that had marked the nation's experience before America even existed. Paine was a technologist, heir to a record of splendid accomplishment. His forebears had built ships, constructed transcontinental railroads, dug the Panama Canal, captured water to allow cities to grow in the arid West, flung power and telephone lines from coast to coast. They had built highways and factories, had put the nation on wheels, had mastered the art of flight. At that very moment, others were winning achievement in the realm of computers. There was, however, another and far more sober side to America's history, for the nation had been conceived in the original sin of slavery. Abraham Lincoln had proposed that every drop of blood drawn with the lash shall be paid by another drawn with the sword. Yet the stain ran so deep that not even the Civil War could expunge it. Like Lincoln, Martin Luther King had grappled with this sin, had sought the moral authority to sway a deeply divided people, and, like Lincoln, he had paid with his life, with his goal only partly won.